season as both of these programs try to make an early statement and build that resume. The Razorbacks will kick it away to start us off. Here he comes from inside his own 5. And he'll be brought down after a solid effort on that return. So Oklahoma's offense will be first on the attack. And are we ever lucky to see these two great quarterbacks in action here today? And Jesse, it won't be long before we'll see them squaring off on Sundays.
Yeah, these guys can both stress a defense for similar reasons, and we've seen it all year long, right? Both guys have tremendous arm talent, and both guys can hurt you running the football as well. So these defenses are really going to have to be careful with how they try and defend these two quarterbacks, David. This one could come down to which guy has the ball last.
Yeah, which is really, really cool. A big showdown. They know what's on the line. Man, these are two huge names, you know, brand versus brand, big-time baller versus big-time baller, trying to come out on top. Yeah, defenses, I feel bad for them. That's not what this is about. This is about the QBs.
Quarterback adjusting the pattern. Looking to throw on first down. Hauls it in. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout call. This crowd bringing the energy and noise early. Looking for space. It's Larson. We'll give him a couple on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up. All right, guys, let's talk a little bit about Oklahoma. They start the season in the top 10. Ideal position to make a run. But what do they need to avoid?
Well, I think you avoid the talks about me and where we're at, because that doesn't matter. This team's got a lot to prove. It's a very talented team, but they got to start the season off fast. That first impression makes a big deal in all these voters, Jeff.
Turning it on! Good, solid pickup there. Now they can start to smell it with a first down at the 31.
And there you go. You see, you don't have to throw bombs to get big plays in the passing game. Just screen it to your running back. As soon as he catches it, he gets upfield. And how about the downfield blocking by these linemen and the wide receivers as they rip off that explosive.
Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance. Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down. They'll throw again after the incompletion. They're setting up the screen. At the 20, he's got space. Knocked out of bounds. They're in the red zone. Mark it at the 17, and they are set up. That was just a perfectly choreographed screen. The line got out on time. The running back had a wall in front of it.
And I think the quarterback did a really good job of selling pass and then kind of dodging the pass rush, getting it to the running back, and then let him do the rest. You got him in space, he'll pick up yards in a hurry.
Pulls and fires it complete to the right. They'll get it down to the 10-yard line on that completion. Let's take just a second and talk about Oklahoma. One of the big storylines coming into this year was the rising temperature of the coach's seat. And the process of cooling things off starts now.
All offseason, this coach has said the right things. I'm not worried about it. I'm not focused on it. I'm just worried about our team. But, David, let's be real. He's got to win games. There is an expectation at this program to win. And if he doesn't start fast this year, that hot seat's only going to get hot.
No, and then the chirping starts, and everybody's going to be talking about his job. The pressure builds, and then what happens? Sometimes you lose the locker room. So important to get off to a good start. Try to quiet some of those haters and some of those doubters.
He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Nice job, defense. You always hear people talk about tackling the catch. You saw it right there. There was nowhere for that receiver to go once he had possession. As a result, no gain.
Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Quick strike complete. They go up top to get it down to the 5-yard line as they try to pay off this drive. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. On 3rd and goal, you can't hear yourself thinking here. From the gun, wants to pass. And the misconnection on 3rd down.
You have to understand at home, it's really hard for a head coach to kick a field goal at this juncture after such a long drive. So many first downs. You've gotten right down to the doorstep. 4th down, you want to be able to pay this thing off and punctuate this drive with a touchdown.
No good. Kicker couldn't quite get it through, and the scoreboard remains the same. So the Arkansas Razorbacks offense will have its first possession of the game. And this running game might have a huge advantage when they get to the second level of this defense, David.
Well, and this is a big challenge. Like, you're overmatched. You understand this guy is a top-shelf player, and I'll be honest, this defense has kind of struggled a little bit this season. But this individual matchup, you got to get him on the ground. You got to find a way to corral him, slow him down. He can't be the game wrecker. If that's the case, it's going to be too easy for this offense.
And if you're on offense, you got to be thinking, let's dominate in the trenches and let's get our star running back into the second level against this linebacker. We've got an athletic advantage at that position. So if we can free him up into the second level of this defense, make him make guys miss, those are going to be explosive plays for the offense.
Third down play from the gun. And they can't hook up on the big play, and that brings up a 4th down. And the Razorbacks send out the punt unit. First time we've seen their punt team tonight. Wants to return it. He couldn't find much running room there. Didn't get a lot of blocking, and he'll step out of bounds. Here comes the Sooner offense back onto the field. A really nice job methodically driving down the field the last time they had it, but the missed field goal ruined the drive. He'll start this drive going to the air. Grabs the screen around all kinds of defenders. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down mark. Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Back to pass. Fires into traffic, picked off. He would have loved to make the big return there, but he still gives his team the ball at the 37.
How about the athletic ability by the big fella? You know, you got those big linebackers in there used to taking on fullbacks and offensive linemen the whole game. He understands for passing situations. I'm getting drops. I'm getting deep in my drops, playing the quarterback's eyes, breaking on the football, making the INT. What an athlete.
Use the play fake. Now to throw. He's got it. Just what this offense was looking for. Sets him up at the 26 with the first down.
Some crossing routes are designed to beat man coverage, but that one worked out pretty well in zone. Nice job by the QB and receiver being on the same page, finding a soft spot, and getting the completion.
Leaves it with the back. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. The Razorbacks trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Gonna swing it on 2nd down. Makes the grab on the left. Found a little bit of room to operate, but he'll be stopped just short of the first down. And the Razorbacks are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. Looking to throw. Had to throw it before he wanted. Just had to get rid of that one. Good job to avoid the loss. Here comes the field goal unit as he'll try to get the 3. From the left hash, he'll try to bend in a 37-yarder. Just drives it between the uprights. And with that, they break the seal on the scoring. It's 3-0. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Gentlemen, let's take a look at what's happening in this exciting college football game. Houston is currently working from behind, but how many times have we said that and then witnessed something special happen? This time of year, you just never know. They're trailing by 11 to TCU. Just another week of college football where we've come to expect the unexpected, fellas.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. This drive will start from the 19-yard line. Wants to go up top on first down. Picked off, and they ruin an early drive with the turnover. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back.
Man, what a great break on the football. Nice job seeing it squeezing. A lot of those defensive guys, man, they don't have great hands all the time, but you always remember your first interception. They'll always remember this moment.
Tough run, gets it into the red zone, and they knock him down at the 17. The Razorbacks in a good spot here with second and short. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. Bringing it back. The 30. Running inside the 20. Touchdown, Oklahoma! How about this defense taking one back to the house? It is one thing to come up with the interception. No, don't stop there. Turn it into a score.
Make a big play and don't be content. That's right. Go out and make an even bigger play, and he does it. He makes the pick and then takes it all the way back to the house. Looked like a wide receiver, for goodness sakes. Turn on the Jets, making the big play.
They're coming out to tee it up. Off, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. And he's going to try to return this one. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. The Hogs send that offense back onto the field. A little bit of feeling each other out. They're down 7-3 as they open this drive. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. A strike downfield. Just what they were looking for to get this drive rolling. They're out to the 35. They opened up this drive, getting all the way out to the 35, and now it's first down again. Looking for room. It's McBride.
I like this guy as a running back because he can run between the tackles and he can also go outside. He can really do it all.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Everybody and their brother showing blitz. They'll go right back to him. And he never had a chance, just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
Man, oh man, am I upset at my offensive line to give up penetration that fast? Man, we blinked and missed it.
Hey, he barely got the ball and just got destroyed immediately. What a great play. Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Catch in the middle, it's McBride. And a good pickup to move the chains, and the clock will expire, and that's how they'll be set up to start the second quarter. At the end of the period, Oklahoma has the lead, and we've reached the end of one. Before we move on, let's take a look at our stats so far. They are lined up and ready to go and get things started here in the second. So after the break, they'll go back to work. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Got his man downfield. He works his way inside the 30 down to the 29 and picks up a first down. And the Razorbacks come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Motion from the wide receiver. Looking downfield on first down. Caught behind the line. It's Snow. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. They're dealing with a second and long. Just keep slinging it. And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical in pass deep. This is the kind of game, a top 25 matchup in the early season that you look for when you're trying to build your resume.
Yeah, these are so fun because as a player, you kind of get bored if you don't get challenged. But when you got an early season challenge like this, all the adrenaline, all the juice, Palmer, you're ready to rock and roll.
I love this. We've had this game circled for a long time because we learn a lot in these types of games. What are these teams about? Which conferences are better? You're going to get a lot of answers today.
And here comes the field goal unit for the second time tonight. That thing would have hit a string in the middle of the uprights. Perfect. That brings them to within one. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
They'll kick it away after putting up a field goal on that last drive. And he takes this from inside the 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. The Sooners ready to go on offense. Well, the good news about this drive, Jesse, it can't go worse than last time through a pick on the first play.
No, it certainly can't. I think one good way, David, to help your quarterback turn the page is just find him an easy completion here and let him get back into a rhythm.
Yeah, or find him an easy handoff. Just hand the foot. Maybe get the ground game going, maybe jumpstart this offense a little bit.
Here's the snap, ready to cut one loose. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down, second down coming. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. The incompletion brings up a second down. Quarterback may change this route. Second down, they'll go to the air. Unloads to the wideout. Wide open downfield. Just what they were looking for to get this drive rolling. They're out to the 35.
Well, he's able to make it easy after that catch, and I think his speed is something that just scares DBs to death. And you think about great Oklahoma receivers recently, guys like CeeDee Lamb, Sterling Shepard, Hollywood Brown. DBs gave them so much cushion because they were afraid they were going to get run by, and I think that's how defenses treat this guy too. With his speed and his playmaking ability, he scares you to death, and that cushion helps him out tremendously.
The Sooners have their whole playbook open here on 2nd and inches. Wants to go up top. Setting up the screen. He gets it past the first down marker, and a really nice job to set up that screen and move the sticks. The Sooners are moving quickly down the field. To the air on first down. That, friends, is a busted play. Incomplete.
I don't know about the that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone. They did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was not open, and that's why that one fell incomplete.
Second down, he'll throw it. Caught in the backfield, it's Larson. There he goes. He's pushed out of bounds inside the 40 at the 38, and these guys are on the move.
Great job, too, by the QB there, holding the ball as long as possible, allowing the pass rush to get upfield, and at the very last second, getting it to his guy so that he can go get the first down.
And the Sooners have it with a 1st and 10. Looking for room, it's Larson. All right, guys, let's talk a little bit about Oklahoma. Everybody uses the portal to varying degrees. Sometimes you just fill the exact flight hole that you want. And this team, as they start this season, not a ton of new faces here, Jesse.
They didn't, but I don't think it's because there was a lack of effort on the part of the coaches, David. I think they believe they've got the roster in place now to have success.
Yeah, because when you bring people in, a lot of times you tick people off on your own roster. So when you only bring a few in, you cherry pick some elite talent and some real concerns that you have, sometimes it just addresses everything you need.
They'll go to work in the air on second down. Puts it out of the air. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a first down.
Yeah, when you run those drag routes, it just takes a little bit of know-how. And when I say that, the receiver's got to understand, find space. My quarterback's going to find me. He's looking for that space at the same time. Nice throw, nice catch. Way to get the first down.
It's complete on the right side. Good pickup, a little bit short of the sticks.
Well, and a nice job working the middle of the field. I think it's so important to keep defenses honest, and you can't just dink and dunk outside. You got to work the middle. Great job finding this wide receiver over the middle of the field.
Gets it to him on the screen. Couldn't quite get it into the end zone. He goes out of bounds at the 3, but they are in business. Plays like that put just a second of hesitation in the defense to make sure, and they're able to take advantage here.
And they use the great timing with this call, right? Like, you can't call this play all the time, but you want to catch it when they're a little bit aggressive, not thinking about it. Nice job slipping the screen behind them, making the easy catch, and then getting downfield, picking up some extra yards. And you got to get locked in the red zone. A lot of defensive coordinators, they'll tell you, we'll give up yards, but we got to understand what we're trying to get accomplished. Great job down here near the goal line. This defense bowing their neck up and getting a big stop.
He steps and powers and works his way. They finally get him down at the 2. We've reached the 2-minute timeout. We've got a tight one, and they'll try to build on the lead before going to the locker room. 3rd and goal, and let's see if they can even operate in this noise. Working that left side now. And he motors into the end zone. Touchdown Sooners!
And I just love the execution by this offense. Late in the half, man, you want to take the lead. You want to get that momentum on your side, and they do it. They finish it with the passing game. And I'll tell you what, keep that passing game up. You can keep this lead, keep the momentum, and keep putting up numbers.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the PAT makes it 14-6. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
A lot of eyeballs on your game, guys, and a few on this interesting matchup as well. Houston is just getting blown off the field right now in H-Town, and at this rate, I'm not sure this won't get worse. They're trailing by 32 to TCU. We've got our eye on this one and everything else going on throughout the day. Guys?
How about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. And Arkansas ready to send out this offense. Plenty of time left in the half here as they take over, but they will want to be efficient here in the final 2 minutes. Quarterback on the keeper. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Looking to fire. Makes the grab. It's McBride. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. Takes it from the gun on 3rd down. Looking to the big tight end. He's got it. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Now on 1st down from the 43-yard line. Use the play fake. Now to throw. Finds his man. It's Wilkins. And the defense had that one well covered. Just a short game there. Quick tempo, no huddle offense. 2nd down. Clock's running. Wants to keep it in the air. Pressure coming. No more time to throw. Quarterback is sacked at the 35.
And he was held in check in game 1, but you're not going to hold him in check for long. And right out the gates, getting a sack in the 2nd ball game, that will not be his last sack of the season. This dude is a ball player.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. Got room at the 35. They'll ride him out of bounds after the good pickup spotted at the 25-yard line.
And this defense is going to have their hands full because they're going to need to be comfortable with guys one-on-one on islands in the perimeter of the field. And they're just going to have to make better plays than what we saw right there. They knew this offense was going to try to be aggressive. Got to need better effort in the back end for this defense moving forward.
And he didn't get a big gain. You want to call that play and probably want to get more yards, but you could tell that was super close from seriously busting loose. Nice job running the screen, getting the ball to your playmaker. If he could just make one more guy miss, that might have been huge.
Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. The Razorbacks line it up with a 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. Relentless, tough running gets it down to the 4. Now the offense tries to punch it in on 2nd and goal. Wants to throw. He's working against the clock. Touchdown, Razorbacks! Fired in from the red zone for the score.
And I tell you what, that passing touchdown, man, that should spark this whole team. Like, the comeback is more than on now. Like, they got the touchdown. They cut into the lead. You want to get a stop and go into the half, get all the juices, all the excitement, and be like, listen, the passing game's rolling. We got this. The comeback's in full effect.
Kickoff unit is out there again, and this crowd is feeling themselves after that last drive. He'll start the return inside his 5. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. The Sooner offense returns to the field. They saw what happened on that last scoring drive, and now probably feeling a little bit of heat to answer. So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the first half. Looking to throw on 1st down. Fires to the wideout. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have held on.
Hey, listen, the quarterback didn't get the completion on that throw, but that doesn't mean you can't try again. Trust in your playmakers outside to push the field and stretch it vertically and make a play for you. It won't surprise me to see this QB take more shots as this game goes on.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
He's not going to make it. What a job by this defense to stop him in his tracks. That's the end of the 2nd quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Guys, you've been calling an intriguing one so far in Fayetteville. And yes, football is a game of inches, but man, is that really the case when you consider the length of some of these possessions. Look, I'm not an analytics guy, but I do know this. The team that sustains drives and just moves the sticks might be the team that comes out on top today. And with that, let's hear another hog call and send it back to the guys in Razorback Stadium.
From inside his own 15, trying to follow his blockers. Probably needed to pick up an extra block or 2, but as it is, he'll be stopped at the 28. The Hogs send that offense back onto the field. Tight game as we start the 3rd quarter, and we'll see what type of adjustments they made at halftime.
And getting the ball first here, I think, is such a big deal. Like, I get the first chance to make a statement, to make the adjustments, to create some momentum for my squad right here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I think it's so important for this offense to set the tone here early in the 2nd half, to get a nice drive going, build that confidence, and get your defense ready to come on out, get a stop, and change the complexity of this game.
Second down, they'll go to the air. A little too much on that one, just out of his reach.
And I think out routes are solely about timing, because that wide receiver is going to get to a point and break it off straight to the sidelines, and you could just tell he put too much mustard on it and just led him a little bit too far.
Lost one deep down the right side. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch. And the Razorbacks will punt this one away. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. And they'll get him down after the return at the 27-yard line. Guys, we'll get another look at this Oklahoma offense. They're going to throw it to start the drive. Got it in the middle. It's Larson. Really good job to pick up a chunk of yardage and get it out to the 39-yard line. A 1st and 10 for this offense. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
Well, the defense was trailing going in at halftime, and I think they made some adjustments against the run. They want to slow this guy down. That's a really nice start to the second half if you're on defense.
Quarterback making checks. Back to pass on second down. Bring in the heat. They just left that pass short. Not enough juice on that one.
And you've seen this formula work at all levels of football. You pressure the quarterback, his numbers start to drop. He's not as efficient. Nice job by the defense.
Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on third down. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. Snagged in the middle. It's Hurley. They'll get the first down. It's spotted on the 49.
And that's a huge third down conversion by the offense there. It's third and long. You've got to lead, not by a lot. Quarterback, though, very poised. Reads the coverage, throws it in rhythm, and you stay on the field.
Wants to throw on first down. Oh, he wants it all. And it falls in complete. But it could have been much, much worse as the defender was right there.
DB does an outstanding job here on the deep pass. Locating the football, no PI, able to swat it away, pass incomplete.
This has been happening all night. They stubbornly keep giving him the ball, and the defense is all over it.
Well, they're trying to run the football there, just nowhere to go. They got dominated up front at the point of attack.
They've got the ball at midfield, but they're facing a third and long. Wants to go up top. Got it set up on the outside. Breaks into the open. Now they're really starting to threaten as they pick up the first down at the 34-yard line. That is a time-honored way to slow down the rush, hit them with the screen, and a chunk play.
Yeah, such a great job because you're flying up the field to get to the quarterback because everything looks like pass down the field. Let those guys get up the field, throw it right behind him. He does a little bit of the rest, making some moves, getting upfield, making the big play.
Brought down just outside the red zone. He moves the chains. It's at the 22. The Sooners have it with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw on first down. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down.
I don't know if the quarterback read the coverage properly on that one, but obviously the result is an incompletion.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Here's a quick throw out to the left. Guided out of bounds. They'll mark him down at the 14. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Third down play in the red zone, and this crowd is at fever pitch. They'll try to move the chains on the ground. He's brought down, but he's got him inside the 10. 1st and goal from the 8.
That's a big key for this offense. Now, you've got the lead here in the second half. You want to run the football, and you've got to just keep getting positive yards. You've got to keep the third downs manageable so you can stay on the field, bleed the clock. That's going to be the key for this offense and their team winning the game.
These fans raising the volume on 2nd and goal. Quarterback duplicitous in his dealing. Some would even say sneaky.
Well, they try to go quarterback sneak, and I know to a lot of people that's a play we all take for granted. Like, it always works. Quarterback sneaks are designed to get just 1 inch. Somehow you've got to come up and do it. But the defense there, David, they bowed up and stopped them.
Did a great job. Listen,
And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Oklahoma.
And how about this offensive line? 3rd and goal, you gotta have it. They flew off of the ball. They got some push. They made that easy on the running back to score that touchdown.
Getting set for the point after. And with the extra point, it's 21-13. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Boys, expect the unexpected in college football, and for some, this update could fall under that category. Clemson had an impressive showing there in Death Valley, winning this one by double digits, although it felt like it could have been more. Somewhere even Trevor Lawrence is impressed with this one. All that speculation all week, and now we know. But something tells me, fellas, we haven't heard the last of either of these teams.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. We've seen a ton of this tonight. They just keep giving him the ball, and he keeps running into brick walls. Not much running room again.
Another tough run for this offense, and I think a big reason why they're down on the scoreboard right now is they just haven't been able to get this guy going. They've tried to give him the ball a lot. It just hasn't paid off, but you get the feeling, too, if they are going to fall back in this one, they need him to break one off, and it just takes one play for this guy. Don't be impatient. You got to keep giving him the football.
Defense is about firing off, hitting the offensive guys, and staying in your gaps. Everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You could tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. They get enough rush, and it pays off. The sack at the 20. The Razorbacks decide to punt it away. He did a great job finding some running room on that return and was able to set up the offense with good field position. So here comes the Oklahoma offense. Last drive went for 6. We'll see if they can do it again. They've got the big fellas out there. A 3 tight end look on 1st and 10. From the gun, the running back tries to hit the hole. This has been happening all night. They stubbornly keep giving him the ball, and the defense is all over it. As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. And talk about spreading the ball around. Everyone getting a chance to show off the hands based on the number of targets we've seen. One more period to go to see who can make the winning plays and come home with the victory. Chance to mull things over, and let's see how they start the final period here on 2nd down. Back to pass. Under fire. Just a short pass to the tight end. He almost picked up the 1st down on that one, but he'll be just a little bit short. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Big 3rd down as the crowd gets behind this defense. Wants to adjust the pattern. On 3rd and short, they'll try to throw for it. And it's incomplete despite some serious arm strength shown there.
After that incompletion on 3rd and short, it's going to be an interesting decision for the head coach because I know he believes in his guys to go get it here on 4th down and pad the lead. But if you kick a field goal, you make it a 2-possession game here in the second half, and I think that's the right decision.
On 4th down, he'll try to toss it. Hauls it in, the 1st down and more. He'll be forced out of bounds at the 28.
That was such a risky call. With the lead late in the game, to go for it on 4th down, that could have been disaster if they don't get it. But with the conversion, now the question, is that enough to ice this thing and win the game?
Knocked down after a 3-yard gain to the 25. Let's take just a second and talk about Oklahoma. Given the unrest surrounding this guy's future as the head coach, this would be a great way to get the season started.
Man, you want all the momentum you can get, and you want to quiet people down. You don't want it to get louder. The louder those murmurs talk about hot seat, and you have a tendency to lose your football team. It's a distraction. You have to talk about it all the time. So always nice, Palmer, to get off on the right foot.
You just got to be able to drown out the outside noise, right? Easier said than done. And with this win in week 1, they're going to silence the critics. But make no mistake, he's going to go into that locker room and say, everyone that's been talking trash about us all offseason, they're going to love us now. Don't pay any attention to that. All that matters is what's in this locker room. They've got to take that attitude forward.
Looking to throw on 3rd. Finds his big tight end. That will be enough to move the chains and give them a 1st down in the red zone at the 14.
Well, this defense has given up some big plays in this game so far, but they've got a lot of talent on that side of the football. Someone has to step up here, make a play, get a stop, and put their team in a position to win.
The Sooners are flying down the field. They're threatening to score, and they'll throw it. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Larson. And that one looks great on the grease board, but when they blow it up like that, the defense is going to win every time. And the Sooners now with a long way to go to pick up the 1st down. He might want another play. To the air on 2nd down. Quickly complete. That one takes it down to the 13-yard line.
You see a lot of offenses late in the football game with a lead get conservative. I like they didn't. They trusted the passing game. You're going to get looks that you know what they are. Defense has to be aggressive. They have to be aggressive because they're down. They've got to get to the quarterback. They've got to get stops. Nice job throwing the football.
The crowd getting behind this defense as they try to get a stop in the red zone. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here.
3rd and long situation. They try to go screen. I think they were hoping it was going to be a big zone and they could get those offensive linemen down the field, but the defense sniffed it out, forcing the incompletion.
It's good. And that will extend their lead even further.
That's a big drive for this offense in the 4th quarter. Now to take a 2-possession lead, you got the other offense where you want them. Now you get to rush the passer, make them pass a little bit more, and don't give up those big plays. You're in a really good spot now.
From inside his own 15, let's see how far he can get. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. They'll crank up this drive with the pass. That's caught. It's Wilkins. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few. And the Razorbacks moving quickly to the line. And he really needed to hold on to that one, but it was knocked loose, and third down is coming.
My job is to make sure that ball comes loose, and I got to go through that guy, use my shoulder pad, drive my feet, really, really be physical, because if he bobbles it at all, or as soon as his hand gets to the ball, you can tell the difference when that body jerks forward and that ball starts to come loose and pumping.
This senior showed some serious arm strength firing that one in for the first down. Wants to throw it. 2 minutes now left in this one, and time is running short if they want to find a way to pull this one out. Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. After the incompletion, back to the passing game. Good job to avoid the negative play and just get rid of that thing. Now facing a 3rd and long. They'll send the back in motion. 3rd and long, and he'll try to throw for it. And this is dropped. Oh, my goodness. It was just too easy, and he didn't look it in.
Got to give this defense a lot of credit, because even down to the last seconds in this football game, we're seeing outstanding effort. QB taking a shot down the middle of the field. There's a defender swatting it away. They have...
Looking deep down the right side. Can't find his man. It'll be incomplete, and that is a heartbreaker this late in the game. Now the Oklahoma offense will go back to work.
Always good to get points on a drive, David, but chip shot field goals can leave you a little empty.
And I think it's great to get points, but the great teams get touchdowns in the red area. You got to get out there this time and execute a little better on this drive.
You're absolutely right, David. Generally, the best red zone offenses are the ones that run the ball best. So let's see if they can be a little bit more physical on this drive.
Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Wants to go up top. Rush is on him. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down.
And we need more of this from this defense, man. They have let this guy have too much time to throw the football. They haven't gotten that jersey dirty yet, haven't sacked him. But this is just as good as a sack. Getting to him, hitting him, letting him feel the physicality of this game, and not letting him feel comfortable.
Soft spot in the middle. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. The Sooners will snap it on 1st and 10. They'll run it. They want to take their time here. Stopped at the 13-yard line as the drive continues. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. 2nd down coming up on this red zone opportunity. He's got it on the right. And he'll take it in and house it. Touchdown Sooners!
Yeah, salt into wound, right? Late in the 4th quarter, you can run the football, run this game out. No, sir. I'm going to continue to pad my stats, find my receiver out wide, and give me another touchdown.
And now with the extra point, they're up by 18 here in the 4th. Kickoff unit getting some extra work as this lead has really grown. From inside the 15, here's the return. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. And Arkansas ready to send out this offense. This offense has pretty much been stuck in the mud the entire game. It's been a frustrating performance, Jesse.
Yeah, and listen, you can't be hanging your head just yet. This game's not over. This coaching staff is still evaluating their players. So if you're on the field right now, you've got to finish this game. You've got to try to prove something to them.
Well, the game is over, to be clear. They're not coming back. But I hear what you're saying. Keep fighting. Keep showing your coaches it matters. And maybe find something positive here late that you can build on for the weeks to come.
Quickly complete.
I think in this situation, 2 minutes, trailing late, I think you got to be throwing to the sticks every time. I don't know if these short completions are going to get it done. You're just not going to have enough time to get down the field. So from a play calling standpoint, I think you want to think about being a little bit more aggressive.
Finally corralled, but not before. He picks up the first down. He'll spike the ball to try to save every precious second he can.
No gain on the play.
What will they dial up on second and a long way to go? Looking to fire. Quickly to the tight end.
And this offense just hasn't found a way to kind of open it up. Like, they haven't found those explosive plays. It feels like the defense is kind of strangling them and staying really close to the line of scrimmage because of their lack of their big play ability over the top. This offense has to dial something up.
Everybody has to be set. They have to get it off.
QB spikes the ball to stop the clock. No gain on the play. Brings up second down.
So now it's second and long. Back to pass. Lets it fly. Touchdown, Arkansas. Made the grab in the end zone for the score.
And a nice touchdown. Continued to fight, continued to play. This one, it's pretty much over. Down multiple possessions this late in the football game. It would take a miracle, but nice job by this offense. Continued to fight, push the ball down the field, make plays.
And the extra point was good to finish things off. Time is against them. Still down by 2 scores, but they'll line up for the onside kick.
Yeah, and this is why you put your hands team on the field most of the time. When you know it's coming, and you put those guys that are great catchers of the football. The first guys, what do? They go block. They go blow somebody up. The next guys catch the football, secure it, get your butt on the ground. And most of the time when you do this, the ball game.
Oh, he's got some space. Dragged down at the 43, but they've got it in enemy territory. They picked up 10 and give him a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. They'll give it to him again. And this one will be stopped for no gain. What a show both of these teams put on today. Couple of outstanding squads, hotly contested battle all the way to the very